8, 9, 10. I guess you guys are wondering why I summoned you here today. It's not to flex my immense wealth or this amazing Lego Star Destroyer, which the build video is on my channel right now. You should watch it. It's about a half hour. It's the perfect distraction if you need more stuff to do after you finish watching this one. But right now, I'm here to tell you about the trip that you don't know about. The trip I took to New York. My first time in New York, it was about 10 months ago. It was a really quick trip after the big climb, and I filmed the vlog, but when I was editing it, it didn't feel right. The whole trip, I was overwhelmed by everything. It's a big city, and I tried to see it all in one day. And the video portrayed that. It was scatterbrained, it was disjointed, it made no sense. There was no plot. It was just me wandering the city, looking at stuff. There's parts where I'm like, I shouldn't film this, and then I film it, and then I start the video over, and so you guys are going to get all of it. I'm going to try to compile it into something that's watchable, but at this point, with the coronavirus and the chaos that is going on outside, I mean, it doesn't even have to be watchable. It just has to be a distraction, honestly. And I think it's a really good distraction. I think that it will give me something to do to occupy my time with, and then the final product will be something that you guys can occupy your time with. I'm hoping it'll kill about 20 minutes to distract you from just everything that is going on right now. Crack a beer, enjoy it. Honestly, it was a really fun trip, and I would like to go back. I have no idea when anyone will be going back, but I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you when I see you. Good morning, everyone. This is the first morning, but kind of like day 1.5 of New York. Oh my god, the window's so gross. It rained. It rained a lot last night. What I'm going to show you right now is just a quick little clip of what I did for the first part of last night. I'm going to let you watch that, and I'll be right back. Hello guys, I am really excited for the adventure today and tomorrow because we are, as you can't tell, in New York City. This is actually my first time to New York City. I had some work to do in New Jersey and I took an extra day for myself to do New York. We are in the financial district, and that's all about I know for New York because I've never been to New York. I had no idea that the Statue of Liberty is like right next to New Jersey. I thought it was kind of like out sort of oceany, like welcoming people to New York, but it's like you have to like go through some stuff to get to it. Okay, I think I'm sufficiently ready, I hope, for what we're about to do. I think I'm heading up Wall Street. No, I'm heading up Broad Street towards Wall Street. There's no way I'm going to get my bearings in this city. So I found the first one I wanted to see. The New York Stock Exchange is behind me in this old building. For some reason I was expecting it was going to be in like a skyscraper and not in this like super intricately carved, what is this, kind of Greek-ish, Roman-ish style building. It's beautiful. It's insanely beautiful. There's another one over there with some sort of American history figure. Oh shoot, I also walked right past I thought the little girl was standing there and then the bull was somewhere. But maybe the bull is gone? Because that's originally what I was looking for, was like the big bull to let me know I got here. And then I ended up getting here anyway. But yeah, there's the little girl statue. There's whatever this building is. So small compared to every other building around it. You have to ignore it. It's very loud here. They're doing something. So this is Trinity Church, where Hamilton is buried, and also where a lot of other people are buried, but it's like a famous old church that's kind of blocked off because of the whole construction thing. So here we have Hamilton's amazing little like monument, and then we have Eliza, who was married to him. Angelica is somewhere Philip, it's quiet uptown, was buried right here. That's really sad. I'm sad now. We're headed to the World Trade Center Memorial site, and I figured I would get that out of the way today because tomorrow is going to be me running around excited about everything. And so I figure I want to see it, but I don't. Jesus Christ! I want to see it, but I don't want to. One, get hit by a bus, and two, ruin a bunch of stuff. I'm doing the World Trade Center stuff today because tomorrow, ideally, is going to be a full day of running around, being excited about everything, and I don't want to kind of put this as something on the side. I want this to be kind of one of the main focuses. Give it what it's due because it's a pretty terrible thing to have happened. That's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. From the photos, it makes it look like the buildings are really, really small, and for some reason, I don't know why, but this is... Whoa. So, I'm cutting in here to say that yesterday being today, I did go to the 9/11 memorial here in New York, and it was going to be kind of the destination, and then I got here, and I can't really put it into words how I feel, but you have all of these names, and then you're reminded that these are actually real people because there are flowers and there are photos and there are memories left at each one of these names, and it felt kind of wrong, like I was doing it a disservice to showcase this as like one of my fun tourist attraction-y things. So this is what you guys are getting, is me showing you, but I don't want this to feel like an attraction or a thing to sightsee. It's so much different than that. It feels, I don't know. You see pictures and you can read articles and watch videos about what happened on 9/11, and I don't know, being here really puts it into perspective, just everything that happened, and what it actually all meant, and all the people who lost their lives, and the people who are still losing their lives because of the lung cancer and the debris that was kind of tossed up into the air. Seeing the size of the buildings around here has kind of like opened my eyes to like, oh, that's, I don't know. I thought the building's footprint was much smaller than this. This is just one of two buildings. The other one is over there. And that's all I wanted to say on this. I'm gonna let me get back to running around, but I wanted to showcase this, but in a way that I felt was more appropriate than like my stupid dumb little adventures that I go on. So here's the 9/11 memorial. It's a huge, I can't even describe it. It's indescribable other than coming and kind of experiencing it for yourself. But with that, I'm going to let me get back to something that's probably a lot more lighthearted than standing at the 9/11 memorial in the rain. It's pouring right now. But then after I went to the 9/11 memorial, it started to rain really, really hard. And so you'll see the last little bit of my adventure right here. The damage to my backpack is already done. It's soaked through. There's the World Trade Center Transit Center, but I bought an umbrella so I can continue on even if everything in my backpack is soaked. I don't know if it's going to come through on video, but it's pouring. We're on Broadway, heading down Broadway. For those playing along at home, shoes still waterproof, jeans definitely are not. I've taken shelter inside of this umbrella because I probably won't come this way or may not come this way. On the left is 368 KDC Neistat's new office thing, and then upstairs is his building. It's very weird because it looks like I'm looking at a film studio, because all I know is from like a backdrop of his videos, and like here it is in real life. I found the bowl. It's not by where the girl is. For some reason I thought the girl was like right here, but she's now on the other side of the exchange building. I don't know, I can't keep up with this drama, but here's the bowl. Here's the other side with the massive things. I don't know if that's lucky. There's probably some superstition about rubbing them for good luck. I don't know. I took the bowl by the not the horns, the inverse horns. I am back in the room, but that's not without one more adventure. I'm going to try Shake Shack for the very first time. This is Michael's fast food tour. I don't know what I'm calling it. I'm still on my fast food tour of America, so we're going to try Shake Shack. It's often compared to In-N-Out. It's often ranked very highly on the list of fast food burgers, so I'm going to be the deciding factor. Deciding factor. Is Shake Shack, that was carried through the rain for like 20 minutes, worth it? We're gonna find out right now. Also, you guys aren't wondering at all, but in case you are wondering, my backpack is soaked through, my hoodie is soaked through, but luckily the hoodie absorbed most of the water from all my camera lenses, so that's really nice. I have all my junk that I carry in my backpack hanging out, and then here's the other drying room with all my stuff and my umbrella that I had to buy because I would not have been able to last without it. The results are in. I don't even need to finish the burger to tell you guys that this burger is phenomenal. I think the patties, it's hard to tell, I think the patties are like hand formed or hand smashed, which is different than In-N-Out or any of the other kind of burger joints. But with that being said, I'm going to send you back to future Michael so we can enjoy the rest of the adventure tomorrow. Hopefully it's not raining anymore. Okay, the sun is shining. We are out of the hotel. I have some caffeine, and now we are headed to the first thing. We're gonna try to take the subway uptown a little bit. I think we're gonna go look at some like filming locations and then hit Central Park and just see if I can even make it there. This is terribly hard to do holding tea, so once I finish this, it's going to be so much easier to film. Well, that was incredibly awkward to film on, but I made it to 110th Street. It's like Cathedral something or other, and I'm gonna take some pictures before the train leaves. Actually, I figured I'll show you guys the subway leaving. They come through quick enough where I don't really need to worry. And it's like, it's so fascinating. There's so many different like things weaving in and out of everywhere. It's just like, there goes one, and then another one's gonna show up in a second. And then there's like this middle track that they just fly right on through. Yeah, I waited all of like 2 minutes, and then another train came through, so I got some pictures of that one. And then there's another train on the other side. I'm blown away by this. Coming from the Bay Area where the trains come through like every 15 minutes, it's nuts. Why don't we have this? This is like way more efficient. Okay, we're going upstairs. And then right out of the station is like a fruit stand. We are in a very different part of New York than we just were. I have no idea where we're going, so I'm just gonna kind of wander a little bit. This is already going to be a very, very long video, so I hope you guys just kind of bear with it. This is more for me just to document my whole first New York experience. That's why I really didn't film in Virginia, because it was just gonna be work. But now I'm in New York, this is all me. Right now I believe we are on the Upper West Side. We're heading to the exterior filming location for White Collar, where they film Neil Caffrey's like mansion. We're going over there, then we're gonna kind of weave our way to Central Park, and then from there just weave our way all the way back downtown towards the financial district. I figure that's the best way, is start on one side of New York and just sort of hit every little bit as we make our way down. That's what I did in Rome, and it seemed to work well for me. And here we go. Apparently it's under construction, but I believe this is the building. It's very weird. because the way they film it, you don't see the fact that there's like a fence just right there. It makes it look like the street is so much more open than it really actually is. But there you go, there's the exterior of Neil Caffrey's mansion. Now, I think if we head this way, this is sort of towards Central Park, and maybe we'll hit the Friends building on the way, assuming it's in this part of town. New York's a really big city. I didn't really realize that. It's pretty big. Scratch that. The Friends building is like 5 miles away in the other direction. So maybe we won't hit that. For some reason, I mean, once again, it's filming magic. I thought the building was going to be positioned more towards Central Park, but that's all just kind of the illusion that they build when they film these things. We are still heading towards Central Park. I know where that is. It's kind of in the center, hence Central. And so I saw this at first and I was like, wow, that's a nice looking cathedral. And then I realized there's like a huge building on that side. The lighting is pretty terrible right now, but we're gonna go get a little bit closer. Holy Lord, this thing. This is like something you would find in Europe. Not something you would find anywhere in America, and especially anywhere on like the West Coast. Man, this is nice bronze doors. You really need to like come in person to get a feel of how big the scale is, because this thing is making me feel very, very small. I need to be really quiet in here. But this place is humongous. And now we're all the way at the front of the cathedral. And then I think I'm going to stop filming and I will catch up with you guys when I'm back on my adventure. Okay, so the cathedral is up this way. Central Park, the very tip north part of Central Park, is this way. But we are actually heading down into the subway because I have another destination in mind before we actually hit the park. Yeah. We're back at another 110th Street station, but this one is more towards the central of the city, so Central Park. I'm hoping I'm on the right side. I'm hoping I get the right subway. Well, that sign kind of gives away the whole surprise. Now, I've showed museums before and everyone's been to a museum, so I don't really think I'm going to showcase this as like museum, but I am going to show it as kind of what's unique about this one versus something like the Field Museum or the California Academy of Sciences. Starting with the entrance. Holy moly. This thing is also insanely huge. So even in the ticketing room, it's amazing. They got dinosaurs. And there's the line. So this is really cool. So this is the Hayden Sphere. This is where the planetarium is. And it tells you if the sphere were the size of the galaxy, like this model is the size of a globular star cluster. And then you go down a little bit. And then this is the Oort cloud, which is kind of what isn't in our solar system. It's like the outside of the solar system. And then you go a little bit further and you start getting planets. And I'm assuming if it's the size of the sun, this is the size of the planet. Yeah, so if this massive sphere is the size of the sun, then this is the Earth. And that's really small. This is probably Mars. Venus and Mercury. Now we are going to start getting really meta. So if the Hayden Sphere is the size of Meteor Crater, I think this is in Arizona or somewhere in the desert, then this model is the size of the Hayden Sphere. That's really meta. If this Hayden Sphere is the size of the Hayden Sphere, then this is the size of your human brain. It's gonna get really cool, because then they go, if this is the size of the brain, then this is the size of a raindrop. And then if this is the size of a raindrop, then this is the size of a red blood cell. And then if this is a red blood cell, this is rhinovirus. And then, yep, if this is rhinovirus, then this is a hydrogen atom. And then I'm assuming that these are accurate representations of water and what's that one? I don't know. I can't see the other side. So I was right, water. And then the other one's ammonia, which has another nodule on the back that we can't see. And then there's a methane right above us. And then we've reached the far end of the scale with gamma rays. Just kidding, there are no known objects smaller than gamma rays. And then there's no known objects smaller. And then we're getting even smaller, which we have uranium. Then we go, oh, it's not just uranium, it's uranium nucleus. So just the core of it, not including the electrons. Then if this is the size of a hydrogen atom, which is like, this is the best image we can get, then this is the size of a proton. Really, really small. You can see how big the electron cloud really is. And then we can't get any smaller than that because it's quarks, and like no light is able to visibly see what's going on. I find it hilariously ironic that I said I wasn't going to film anything except stuff that was different, and then the first thing I did was definitely stuff that was different. But this is very cool. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm having a blast. I'm in the human evolution kind of, the evolution of humans area. These are all really old, like really old pieces of art. And so there's all these like female figures. You can see they're 26,000, 28,000, some are 30,000 years old. Here's a big carving in limestone. There's this bear here that's 32,000 years old. I think it's a bear. They say it's a human figure with a lion head. I don't believe them. We're in a big old room now. I'm still looking for food, but we're in a big old room. Here's the giant blue whale, or gray whale, some sort of whale. This is often what people refer to when they're talking about the Natural History Museum, is the whale. That's big. That's pretty big. To continue the theme of Michael knows nothing about New York, all of my knowledge of this museum is basically like How I Met Your Mother. I think they came here in one episode, or they came here in one episode, and Night at the Museum. And Night at the Museum, so far, I haven't seen anything that resembles that museum. So they do acknowledge that the movie exists, although this seems like the second one. So yeah, they're taking place in DC, so they're not actually at this museum, or they're not at this museum. Dinosaur, 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 tall dinosaur, nightmare fuel, even bigger dinosaur, even more dinosaurs, stegosaur, dino store, dum dum one gum gum. And now we are done. Okay, I officially made it out of the museum. It is like a maze in there. Once you get lost, you are just lost forever. Now we are in Central Park. It's probably 80 degrees and humid. And it was a big shocker coming out of the museum to go right into the heat. I'm wandering my way towards the Friends Fountain. And then from there, we'll make our way south to where I think the Empire State Building is. We'll take a picture of that and then continue our way down, maybe see the Flatiron Building. And then from there, probably get on a subway and back to the financial district because I'm worn out already. The jet lag is still catching up on me and I am exhausted. I get why people always come here to run and ride bikes and roller skate and all that. It's beautiful and it's like an escape from the hectic city life. I'm like not that far deep into it and I already don't hear all of the cars and the noise. Everything about this trip has just been phenomenal. Like this view is unreal, is the best way to put it. Watching the boats is just something fun. But we are on our way. We're actually heading down that way. I made it to the fountain. It's going to be really interesting because the further the day gets into it, the more exhausted and the less coherent my thoughts are going to be. And so in like, I don't know, maybe half an hour, I'll be like, State Empire Building. No one knows what that means, but it's somewhere. And that's the first like street performer that I've seen, which is pretty interesting because when you think of New York, you think of like lots of street performers everywhere. That's the New York I've seen with all the interesting street performers We were walking down this, I think it's a fairly iconic like stretch of Central Park. We're heading towards Uptown or Midtown, or I think it's Midtown, where the Eiffel Tower, no, not, wow, it's hot, towards the Empire State Building. That's what I meant. There's also the Chrysler Building. I totally forgot about Times Square. It's been a long trip already, and it's been a long day. So all these striations in the rock, I believe, if what I learned from the museum is true, comes from glaciers kind of slowly moving across Central Park, or where Central Park is now. And then that was back during the Ice Age. Now there's no Ice Age, so we were left with just the remnants of those old glacial movements. Also, directly above the rock is the insane view of like just where the park ends, like immediately goes skyward. I am on a mission. We are heading down. I think that might be the top of the Empire State Building, but first we're gonna hit like the Chrysler Building, then we're gonna loop over, hit that, loop back, hit Times Square, then make another loop and hopefully go to the B&H store so I can look at camera stuff. After a lot of walking in the sun, I made it to Grand Central Terminal. The roof of the station is a star field, which is really hard to see on camera, but I'm here enjoying the air conditioning, and then after that I'll probably go see some other stuff. It's an absolutely terrible vantage point of it, but there's the Chrysler Building in all its tall glory. I may have to walk down a few blocks, but I don't even know if you could see it from anything because they'll be blocked by other buildings. I'm way too tired to walk anymore, so I'm going to take the subway for a few blocks. I want downtown 6, this way. I guess I don't need directions how to get there. There's the peak. That was a very crowded train, but I only had to ride one stop. It was better than walking like, what, a mile or so? The sky is incredibly bright, but there is the Empire State Building in all its tallness. The building really is iconic. I mean, I'm not even going to try to think about going to the top because it's just going to be, I think it's some ridiculous amount of money plus a ridiculous amount of weight just to get there. So this is the best I'm getting for this trip. Maybe next time. Oh gosh, here we go. It's time to watch your wallet and watch your children. This is, oh man. We got the other heroes. This is a weird place. What I'm trying to wrap my head around is getting all of those people on New Year's Eve packed, like in each of these squares on the ground. That seems terrifying. Like, this is crowded for me. I can't imagine like being squished for multiple hours, just waiting in the cold for the ball to drop right there. Once again, I know nothing about New York. I overheard someone talking, and the ball is actually up there, and you can see it. For some reason, I thought it was on the other side, but there's the New Year's Eve New York City ball. For some reason, I thought it was on that corner. We're looking for the 7. I need to take the 7 about one stop, and then we're heading to the Vessel because B&H is closed. So we're going to the Vessel. We're gonna check that out. Get my video copyright claimed. Well, I did it. I got on the wrong train, and then I got off the wrong train to get on the right train, and there it goes. Dang it. Luckily for me, this is New York, and the trains come by like every 2 minutes. It's insane. If I had done that in San Francisco, I would be screwed. But since I'm doing it here, I just have to get on a really crowded train as my punishment. And I did it. I made it to 34th Street in the correct direction this time. I didn't realize how far underground we were. I like just looked up to see how much more of the escalator there was, and it was like instant vertigo. I did not expect to be looking all the way up like this long tube. Just outside of the 34th Street, we have this little pine cone thing, the Vessel. Honestly, it's smaller than I expected. I imagined it was going to be a lot bigger. I have a feeling once I get to the top, if I get to the top, it's going to feel a lot taller than it is. As I get closer to it, it seems to get taller. I have a feeling the fact that that building is there is kind of really messing with the perspective. Since it is really tall, it it's not a skyscraper, it's a pine cone. So the tickets were free. The only problem is the first available entry is 8 p.m., which means I have to go back to the hotel right now, rest up a little bit, and then make another adventure back out here tonight in, what, 2 hours or so? Slight change of plans. My legs are screaming at me, and I don't think that climbing up to the top of the vessel tonight is going to be good for them and good for me tomorrow. So what I'm doing instead is I'm walking along the High Line. There's like train tracks over there. This used to be like not a subway, but like an above ground train system similar to a subway, but not sub, because sub is, well, I'm running out of battery, so I need to talk quick. So what I'm doing is I'm walking along this. I'm gonna take a train, find some dinner, take a train back to the hotel, and by then I am exhausted. My battery is dead, so I don't think, so my battery is dying, and I don't think it's gonna be beneficial to kind of extend this adventure. It's already been long enough. So with that said, I will see you guys next time. I really hope you guys enjoyed my New York adventure. I'm gonna do a little bit tomorrow, but it's just gonna be for me and whatever I put on Instagram. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Goodbye. My battery is just... Back at the 9/11 Memorial. Plan for the few hours I have is to go all the way up there. You can't really see, it's really dark, but we're in the foundation of One World Trade Center. There's the bedrock that it's built on.
Ja, het gaat omhoog. En we zien weer de geschiedenis van Manhattan. Het lijkt wel Nederlands. Ja. Kijk, de code is... Je moet laag gewoon omhoog, 1940. En kijk, dan heb je met een tuintje. Op Lower Manhattan. Ja.
This is only mildly terrifying, but hey, there's the Statue of Liberty way down there, little tiny thing. And there is Brooklyn way out there. And one of these is the Brooklyn Bridge, one is the Manhattan Bridge. I think there's another bridge over there. I don't know the name of them. If you notice, I'm staying like 6 feet away from the windows because I'm terrified. But there's the Empire State Building right there. Much better view than it was yesterday. I just spotted from this one particular angle, Times Square. You can see the big giant screens. So that means yesterday I was kind of out that way and then weaving my way this way. Chrysler Building's right there, Empire State, Times Square. The vessel I think is gonna be somewhere over here. I was looking for it, but I can't find it because it's so short. And then just to weave my way all the way back this way. My body might think it's 6:30, it's 9:30 here, but I'm thinking about this Brooklyn Defender IPA. Because it's brewed in the best city in America. This is one of those things where you have to have a drink in the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere with a view of the Statue of Liberty. I almost said Eiffel Tower again. I'm gonna try to do this without glare, but straight down is where the World Trade Center stood. You can see there's one, there's two, and then there's the Oculus. Last update, I had to ask, so the Twin Towers would have been kind of eye level with us right here. They made this tower that we're in now just about the same height as the Twin Towers. So the elevator kind of jiggles as it goes up because it's going up so quickly, but they use that to their advantage to have you fly out. That was the most terrifying part of the whole exhibit. I put my head against the glass, that was fine. This was like, oh god.